Welcome to part 2 of our Accessible Course Index series. Today we're going to go over how we tag our lists, how we tag our table of contents for ease of navigation, how to ensure proper reading order, as well as some troubleshooting tips. So first of all, let's go to the first list in our page. If you go over to the tags over here, you can see that this is a list. It's tagged as this L. So you can scroll down here. This is how the lists will come in when they're automatically tagged. If you pop open, you can see that each of the bullet points is a list item. Then underneath that, the list body tag contains both the bullet and the text. So what we want to correct here is the fact that the bullet and the text come in together. You want them to come in separately, particularly with longer lists. It's just a better experience for the user when they're listening to the list being read out. So in order to tag those correctly, go ahead and delete these content pieces under the list body tags. Next, you're going to right-click on your list body tag and create a new tag. And the one you're going to want to look for is label. So the label is going to be the tag that your bullet goes into, and the L body tag is going to be what your text goes into. So make a label tag on each of those, and then we're going to correct the order. So since the bullet, the label is going to come first, you can just cut and paste the L body tag underneath the label tag so that it's in the right order. Next, you are going to make sure that first label tag is highlighted, and then go over to the first bullet and highlight that as well. Right-click the label tag and say Create Tag from Selection. And now you can see that the label tag contains that first bullet. Do the same thing with the text and the list body tag. So now you can see they are tagged separately as the label and the list body, and then when you go to the list item, they're all tagged together. So this is the process that you will do for each item in the list. Perfect, and now that is a perfectly tagged list. As we mentioned in part 1, definitely make sure that before you start tagging all your lists, that all of your bullets are this closed circle bullet like these ones. Sometimes when you have sub-bullets in lists, there'll be those open circle bullets. Sometimes the screen readers will read that as O, which is just not the best user experience, so you want to make sure that they're all these closed circle bullets right here so that they're all read correctly. Next, we're going to go over how to tag your table of contents. So if you scroll up to the top of your tags panel right here, you'll see TOC, and that is your table of contents tag. If you open that up, you'll see each of the items in your table of contents has these table of contents items tag. And if you pop open one of these table of content items tags, you'll see that they come in kind of messy, so we're going to clean those up so that they read correctly. The first thing we're going to do, however, on the table of contents tag is take this top tag for the table of contents label, and we're going to turn that into a header tag so that the screen reader reads it as a heading and not an item in the table of contents. So you can right-click and delete this tag. Then you're going to create a new tag and select heading. Cut the heading tag and paste it as a child underneath the table of contents tag so that it comes in underneath it right here. Then select your table of contents text and create tag from selection. And now it will read as the header of the section. So next I'm just going to pop open this table of contents item. So again, it comes in a little messy, but we are going to take a few things from this and then add in the rest ourselves. So what you'll need from what comes in automatically are the text, which is course overview here, the dots that are separating the text from the number, and then the number itself. Sometimes they'll all come in a little differently. Sometimes there will be fewer dots here, sometimes there will be dots in front of the number, sometimes it'll just be the number and just dots here. It's totally fine no matter how it comes in. You just need to make sure that it's in the correct reading order. So go ahead and cut and paste them so that they are all lined up in the correct reading order with each other. And then everything else that comes in automatically can be deleted. So now that you've got everything under your reference tag, you're going to right click and create a new tag, and that tag is going to be a link. So you're going to want your text here underneath your link tag so that we can create a link to that page in the document. So go ahead and select everything here, cut, and paste it as a child. Then you can take this entire link tag, cut that, and paste it as a child under reference. So now everything is in the correct order, nice and neat. Now we just need to relink it. So go ahead and click on your link tag, right click, and say find. In this dialog that opens, you're going to say unmarked linked. You're going to say find unmarked links, and then click find. And as you can see, it has highlighted the entire table of contents item here. So you can say tag, click OK, and then close. So now the link comes in right here. And the last thing you're going to do is make sure that it comes at the end of this list here. So just cut and paste it at the end. And that is a perfectly tagged table of contents item. One thing that I want to note, sometimes every item will come in a little differently, and that's usually okay as long as everything is in the correct order. So when I open up this one right here, I noticed that a couple of different link tags automatically came in, and that makes me think that this may have come in split into two pieces, and I just wanted to show you guys how I tagged that because it's totally okay as long as everything's in the right order. So once again, you're just going to start tagging it just like every other table of contents item. Make your link. Awesome. So now when you go ahead and click find and choose unmarked links, you can see that it only highlights this first part here and it leaves out the two. Go ahead and still say tag element. And then you can see now that it has highlighted the two. That's fine. Say tag element again. And then you can close. So it came in as two separate links. Again, this is totally fine as long as everything is in the correct reading order. So when I cut and paste these to be at the bottom of the list here, I will make sure to cut this one first and then cut and paste this one. So everything is still in the correct reading order. One more troubleshooting piece of advice for the table of contents. Sometimes your table of contents items would accidentally get unlinked, so I'm going to right click and delete link here so you can see what I mean by that. When I hover over the other items that have links on them, you can see that I'm able to click it and go to that part in the document. Now when I hover over course overview, that doesn't happen. So I'm going to show you how to get those links back so that it navigates to the correct part in the document if your links have been deleted. So you can see I've popped it open right here for reference. There's no link under here. All you do is go ahead and highlight the item that you want to link, right click it, and say create link. This create link dialog will pop up. I'm going to choose invisible rectangle for mine. And for link action, you want to say go to a page view. So you click next. And then this dialog will come up that pretty much tells you exactly what you have to do. As you can see, this blue box comes up that highlights exactly what we want linked. You can adjust it if you need to. But what I will do is I will scroll down and navigate to the course overview section, and you set up your page exactly as you would like it to link. So you could set it up just at the top of the page right here, but I'm going to set it so that course overview is the very first thing that comes up on the page, so that when the learner clicks on course overview in the table of contents, they will come to the exact right spot. And now you can see as I hover over it, it's able to be selected, and that link tag has come back in underneath our text here. If it comes in slightly the wrong order, like if it comes in, here or something like that, again, totally fine. Just make sure to cut and paste it so that it's at the bottom of the list here. One final thing that I want to note, you're going to want to make sure that everything in your ACI is in the correct reading order. So what I mean by this is that sometimes if we navigate down to this paragraph right here, sometimes when you have paragraph text that goes over a page break in the document, so just like this one, the first part of the text is on this page 2, and then the second part of the text is on page 3. If you pop open this paragraph tag, you can see that they come in as 2 separate parts of the same paragraph tag, and that's totally fine. This one has come in correctly, but every once in a while they will come in switched like this, so that if your learner was tabbing through the document, the screen reader would read this part of the paragraph before it read this part of the paragraph, and obviously that's not going to make any sense. So it's an easy fix. All you have to do is cut and paste the items so that they are in the correct reading orders, so that when the learner is tabbing through them, the screen reader reads this first part of the paragraph before the second part. And you're going to want to tab through your entire document to make sure that everything within it is in the right order, so that the screen reader is reading exactly what you'd like your learner to hear. So that's it for part 2 of our ACI series. I hope this has been helpful. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. We would love to be a helpful resource to you.